What is up, my YouTubers, and welcome to Prison Talk Tuesday. All right, so I have a few things to say for my intro first. One, the things I say in this video is not only the things based on my own opinion, but a few others as well. I will not be using names except for a few of my friends that I have made, but this is the raw truth, and so let's begin. What is up, my YouTubers, and welcome to Prison Talk Tuesdays. All right, I am outside at the moment because it is nice morning and I need a little quiet, and babies are at the moment in the bedroom watching Baby Einstein or Backyardigans. No. What's up, my YouTubers, and welcome to Prison Talk Tuesdays. All right, I'm outside right now because it is a nice day and babies are running around in the yard, so we are going to dive right into today's Prison Talk. I have a few stories to tell you guys, and I have some certificates to show you guys that I may or may not have shown you guys before. So let's just dive into it. All right, the first thing I have is my inmate ID. If you ever get arrested and you are on probation, they keep your same probation number throughout the whole entire journey if you ever get in trouble again. So my inmate ID number is actually my probation number. I don't know if that matters, but it's not the best picture. And no, I do not have a goatee. There is a, I don't know, like a spot on it, but it's not the best picture. That's my information if you guys care at all. So the first certificate I have is employability skills. And my certificates are all from Wake Tech, because if you take any classes or programs, you do get a certificate of completion. These actually do give you college credits. So if you've ever transferred to an actual college, a community college or trade school, these actually will transfer with you. So that is awesome. This was one of my favorite classes I took, the commercial printing and design. And then this was, I don't really remember what this is for, but it's just an outstanding recognition work reward. So, and then this is from Mother Read, and I'll show you the book that I created. This is the certificate from Mother Read. I really loved Mother Read class. If you are facing prison charges yourself, or if you know of any female who is in prison currently and they have the opportunity to take Mother Read, you do not have to be a mother to take Mother Read. You can be an aunt, a grandparent. You could just want to take it just in case your friends have kids. It's basically where you read children's books and you get to discuss the children's books. And then at the end, you get to record you reading a few books to your kids, and then you get to take those books home. You also make things for your kids throughout the program. It's really fun. It can get really deep, and people do cry because some of the stuff that, if they're facing like a lot of charges and they have little kids like me, it was very emotional for me because my babies were 1 when I left. But I will say luckily and not luckily at the same time. Luckily, they were too little to remember, so they won't remember. Now, when they grow up and if they see these videos, of course. But moving forward, so the book that I wrote, because we did write a book at towards the end, and this is my book. I know it's kind of falling apart a little bit, but you get to decorate it, and then she laminates all the sheets, and I just dropped all of my stuff on the ground. That's awesome. Anyways, you can, this part already comes, and then you can write whoever you want on it, and then you get stickers or little cutouts, and you can put anything you want on it. And then it has pages, if I can have everything else fall out of my book here. Then you have pages like, I put them in order. It's like, when you were born, I remember, and I wrote to each of my kids, when I found out I was pregnant with you, my favorite holiday to celebrate with our family. When I was a little girl, I always loved to, and I remember that one time. Some things that were different when I was a little girl. We had so much fun that time together. I love to tell a story about when I daydream about the future. I think I'll never forget a time that, you guys probably cannot see this, I'm like horribly at storytelling, aren't I? I hope one day some of my dreams for your future are, I don't want you to ever forget that. One of my favorite memories of celebrating your birthday, and I put each sticker for each kid. And then I have Ben, and this is Ben's birthday, and then I have the ways I think of him. Like I put Ben as inquisitive, shy, smart, kind, and ambitious. Airly, I put energetic, outgoing, creative, talkative, and smart. Now, since the babies were little, I couldn't really think of much, but Amelia, I put playful, vocal, travel, loving, happy and independent, because she's very vocal. She loves to talk. Isabel is playful, loving, happy, a risk taker, and stubborn, because she loves to crawl on literally like everything. And then Trenton, helpful, loving, smart, happy, and playful. And that is what I wrote for Mother Read. And they do give you a lot of sheets. You can put as many sheets as you want in there. You can create your own sheets if you want to. If you, like I said, you don't have to have kids. You can write about a memory with that child. Let's say it's your grandchild, you can write the day that, like, if you met them when they were born, or if you never met them, what you hope to do with them when you get out. If you are unfortunately a lifetime person and you've never met your grandkids, then you could still write it to them and say, if I wasn't in prison, this is what I'd hope to do with you. But I'm not going to make this video too long. But a couple of the stories I wanted to talk about today. We'll just start off with the raid on the C dorm. So, sorry, there's a hair. So one of the things I was saying is how I got out of reception and I went to the C dorm. C dorm was supposed to be transitioned for me, and we called it the hospice dorm, just because I had all the people who were in wheelchairs in there who weren't in the medical unit. So apparently somebody had leaked somehow that one of the people or a few people had drugs. Go figure, right? Now, the C dorm is divided into A side and B side. And there's a wall, there's a wall with like two cutouts, like towards the front door and towards the officer's desk, to where you can cross over to A and B side. But you're not supposed to cross over to A, or you're on the A side, you don't go to B side. If you're on B side, you don't go to A side, unless you get permission to do that. But anyways, so apparently somebody hated somebody on the A side. Go figure. So they somehow, a rumor got started where all these people had drugs. So the A side only got raided. And I had just fallen asleep for a nap. And because my medicine was making me really tired, and I think that was one of the days where I got up early for class. But either way, or I didn't sleep well, either way. So not only did we have to all get up off our beds and go into the day room, and if you had to pee, you're pretty much screwed. So, I swear, every officer that they had in that prison came into our little tiny, this thing was tiny building, and raided the A dorm. And of course, they had to have enough officers, because the more officers you have, then the more lockers they can search through, and the faster they can get stuff done. And there is a silkworm floating around. Sorry, I know that's really random, but anyways, I was just making sure it wasn't going to land on me. I only see silkworms very rarely. But, basically, what they do is if you can imagine a raid, they throw your stuff around. They don't care. They were tossing people's makeup out, coffee out, food out. Anything that was opened, they were just pouring it anywhere they possibly could. In the trash, on their bed, it didn't matter. They stripped the beds down. They went through all the lockers. They knew whose locker to search. They knew which people they knew. So not everybody's locker got detailed searched, but they did a fairly good job. For instance, my locker. I'm very OCD, and I keep everything in a baggie or in folders from class, because we get folders from class. And I had everything organized, everything else. And I thought, oh my God, they're going to go through everything. They're going to read everything, and they're going to just destroy everything. So I'm going to have to put all my journal stuff, everything, back together again. Luckily, I had all my journal paperwork numbered so that way I could put it in order. Luckily, all they did is they looked at the folder, like they literally like looked at the folder, flipped through it, and then just set it aside. So, because I wasn't one of the ones that they were really worried about. I think the only thing that they tossed out of mine was I was going to cook ramen noodles after I woke up from my nap. So I had ramen noodles in my cup that somebody let me borrow, and they like threw those, like they took off the lid and threw the ramen noodles on my bed, which I thought was very disrespectful. But yeah, so that was a raid. If you had to go to the bathroom, though. So if you had to go to the bathroom, they wanted to make sure that nobody was hiding drugs on their body. And they also wanted to make sure that you weren't going to exchange drugs in the bathroom and like hide them somewhere. So obviously the officer would come in there. They would watch you pee, which didn't bother me. I really didn't care. But before you did that, you had to strip down and you had to cough and squat and do all that stuff. And I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I do this when I go up the hill anyways for class. Or I mean, when not when I go up the hill for class. I've done it enough when I've gone to intake. I didn't really care if I had to cough and squat, whatever. It didn't really bother me. But again, like I said, they weren't really worried about me. They did search some people's locker a few times. One, because they had so much stuff in there. They had a few different officers search the same locker. Long story short, I'm pretty sure they did find some stuff. And obviously, if you get caught, you get another charge and you go to SEG right away. But I don't really fully remember. We didn't know we were getting raided, and we assumed that since our side got raided, the B side was going to get raided eventually. But no. So, long story short again, is that when the girls found out who the snitch was, oh yeah, that person pretty much, yeah, had to get moved, basically. We'll put it that way, right away. Like I said, I could care less. I was just more angry that I was losing sleep and that I had to pee so badly. Oh, and another thing on the pee, you could not pee when somebody else is peeing. They could only take one person at a time. And if you didn't have toilet paper on you, well, you were screwed because you could not go back to your bed. Now, funny thing about that is that I had asked a male officer, yes, because there was male officers in there raiding with the females. It's not just all females who work at a female prison. But I had asked a male officer if I can just grab my toilet paper really fast because my bed was literally right there at the day room. And he said yes. And when I went to my bed, the one officer was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I was told the officer who told me was the captain, actually. So I said, "Well, captain said I can grab my toilet paper." And she goes, no. And I said, well, and the captain said, "It's okay, let her grab her toilet paper." And then she's like, so then everybody saw me grab my toilet paper and then thought they could grab their toilet paper. And they were all angry because they couldn't. And I was going to share my toilet paper. I didn't really care. I mean, they weren't really angry at me. They were just angry at the other officers because obviously they knew the people who were asking were the people that they were repeatedly searching their lockers. So... But I did share my toilet paper until I ran out, so, because I didn't mind. I didn't care. And it's not like I cared if people hated me or talked shit on me. I was like, dude, I don't care. If I'm the privileged one and I got toilet paper because Captain said so, I didn't care. Like, hate me for, like, care. I knew, like, that I was going to be moved out of the C dorm eventually, and I knew that I wasn't going to stay in prison forever. And I knew I wasn't going to be a repeat person. So, anyways, I will tell you guys one more story. And how about, oh, yes, okay, the guards and shifts. So usually you have, obviously, your morning shift and your night shift. The guards usually come in, I think, between, let's see, guards usually, first shift starts at 5, which ends at 5. So your last first count, I should say, last count of the night shift ends at 5. The first count of the day starts at 5, if that makes any sense. But sometimes the guards are late, so you're stuck with the guard that you really, really hate. Sometimes if you think the guard is gone because they're supposed to be gone and then they're not, that really sucks. And I will say that I'm pretty sure this happens at all prisons. I'm pretty sure because I have watched prison shows before. But when they search anybody's stuff, I find it the most disrespectful way that they treat people's stuff. I understand that they're looking for drugs or contraband or whatever else they're looking for. But when somebody like just buys a brand new bag of like, let's say $4 coffee and just opens it and they dump the entire thing out, that's disrespectful. People had bought just brand new makeup and they had dumped all that makeup. Or they'll dump stuff and get coffee or makeup all over their other stuff. And it's like, the disrespect and the way the officers treat some of the inmates. I understand that there's favoritism. I understand that it's everywhere. But it's like the disrespect. There's one guard, like I said, and I talk about her all the time because everybody hates her. Everybody hates her. She is the most disrespectful guard. She's even disrespectful for the other coworkers that she has. She tries to flirt with all the males, and the males are like, like she's just so nasty. She's like this ghetto, nasty guard, and she thinks she's bougie. She thinks she's all that because she has power, because she's a guard and she could boss us around or write us up. Like I said, though, in one of my vlogs, she got in trouble for writing people up for no reason whatsoever because she's having a PMS day or because you blinked at her wrong. And yes, I have yelled at her a few times because I knew I was in the right about certain things and I put her in her place. And I'm one that I don't speak up. I don't. I stay quiet. I stay to myself and blah, blah, blah. But if you piss me off, even if you're a guard, yeah, I'm going to put you in your place because I'm sorry. Anyways, all right. So that's enough for this Prison Talk Tuesday. If you guys have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, or advice, or if you want to know anything else, I have lots more stories coming up. On that note, until next Tuesday, you guys stay awesome. Bye. If you personally have been or know somebody who has been or is still currently incarcerated in North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women located in Raleigh, North Carolina, and would like to help do something about helping these women out, please like this video, comment below, and share this video. We need to be the voices on the outside to help these females. Please be kind to each other in the comments and stay awesome. Bye.